Welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm actually going to be cooking baked rigatoni for 120 people roughly. Our church does a fellowship meal once a month and I volunteered to do a baked pasta this month. I wanted to go ahead and use my gifts. I do a lot of catering, so use my gifts to cook something delicious and maybe even save a little money, which it turns out we saved over $100 off of what the church would normally pay for the frozen lasagnas. So I'm pretty excited about that because I love to save money. So in the kitchen today on day one, I'm going to be making all of the sauce and then refrigerating it overnight. Day two, I'm going to be cooking the pasta and mixing up the cheese mixture and then assembling all of the baked rigatonis and then putting them in the refrigerator. Tomorrow morning, I'll be waking up early to heat them up and then we'll take them to the church.
Okay, so the first step to making my sauce is to saute a ton of garlic. So I like to buy the big bags of peeled garlic at Sam's Club, and I'm going to be lightly browning about 6 cups of whole garlic cloves. These bags last me probably about 2 months, as long as I keep it sealed up nicely in the refrigerator. It's really the best bargain I've found on this peeled garlic. You can buy smaller bags in other places, but it ends up costing more. That's my gigantic spoon. I love using this spoon. It never falls in the pot. So see, here you see the garlic is nicely sauteed till it's just golden. And now I have it in the food processor and I'm going to blend that up until it's nice and smooth. Now normally I would make my own sauce, but I decided to try and save a little bit of time here. And so I bought lots and lots of Rao's sauce, but I'm doctoring it up and adding garlic and some extra spices to it so that it tastes closer to what I want it to taste like. There's my spoon, my spatula. All of my kids bite well, I shouldn't say all of my kids. My younger kids bite my spatulas for some reason. I don't have any spatula that doesn't have tooth marks in it. As you can see, this is a family affair. My daughter's helping me and my son is helping me chop. I think he's chopping 12 onions back behind me. Okay, now it's nice and smooth, so I'm coming over here to check on my son's progress with the onions. He's putting them all through this wonderful chopper machine. It is so useful when you have to chop tons and tons of stuff. So he's doing that for me. And then now I'm going to go ahead and start browning the sausage. So this is going to be 10 pounds of sweet Italian sausage that we're going to be browning. And I'm going to be doing it in batches. I think I ended up doing 3 batches total. My daughter's over here helping me. She is so sweet about always jumping in and helping out.
What is this? It's a casing. Casings used to be made out of the animal's intestine, but it's not anymore.
What's it made out of?
I don't know. We're just going to do 2 packs at a time because I don't want to overcrowd the pan.
So now I'm breaking it up. This is the one thing that I really don't like about using sausage in casings is that it takes a lot of extra effort to get it all broken up. I much prefer to buy the packs of sausage that are just loose because it is easier to get it broken up. But this was the most economical way to do this, and I didn't want to have to go to 2 or 3 different stores to get 10 pounds. So I just decided to do a little bit of the cooking work myself. So I like to get it nice and brown. It has a little bit of extra flavor to it if you let it crisp up a little bit on the edges. And now I'm going to be draining it on paper towels. Each batch will get drained to get off some of the excess fat. Trying to get it broken up as small as possible. I don't want any gigantic chunks of sausage in there because there's going to be a lot of children eating this too. So I don't want to make extra work for their parents. I want to try and get it bite size as much as possible. So I'm just lining this baking sheet with some paper towels, and then we'll be scooping the meat onto it with a slotted spoon. And now it's time to get the next batch going. And this is the third batch, the last one, home stretch. You can't really tell from this angle, but the cast iron pan that I'm using to do this in is actually quite large. It's a gigantic pan, which further illustrates just how much sausage I'm putting in each time. It's a really, really big pan. Okay, now I'm going to use the same pan. I'm pouring a little bit of the olive oil that I used to saute the garlic back into the pan. So that's further infused with garlic. And then all of those onions, I probably should have done this in 2 batches, but I was honestly just getting tired of doing everything in multiple batches. So I just decided to cram them all in there and they would cook down. So that's what I did. I'm adding a little bit of salt here, kosher salt. And I'm just going to let the heat do the work of reducing those a little bit. Just stirring it around. And I used the same pan that I did the sausage in. I didn't wash it because I wanted all of those bits at the bottom to be worked into the onion because that's just extra flavor. Okay, so now I'm going to be adding the pureed roasted garlic into my giant copper pot. And this is going to take 2 pots. I'm not going to be able to fit all of the sauce into one pot, so I'm dividing it equally between my copper pot and my aluminum pot over there. Trying to get every last bit that I can out of the food processor because that is just extra flavor. And now I'm going to use my 2-cup measuring cup to equally distribute the onions between the 2 pots. I love using glass measuring cups as a scoop when I'm doing cooking for a huge number of people. Now I'm just gonna try to scrape the last bit in there. That pot is so dang heavy though. It was hard to maneuver it. Okay, so now I'm just mixing it all together with the garlic. You can see it's starting to heat up, it's steaming. That's what it looks like. You cannot imagine how delicious it smells in the kitchen right now. So now let's use the 2-cup measuring cup to distribute the browned sausage between the 2 pots. And that's what it looks like. And you see I have all of my pasta sauce and some diced tomatoes all lined up ready to go. My oldest son was kind enough to open all of those for me, so I just have to pour it in. He was very sweet in helping me out with the things that he could do before he had to go on with his day. I always appreciate it when the kids jump in and help out. They're such good helpers. So if I had made my sauce from scratch like I normally do, the total, I probably would have ended up saving another $50 to $75 on top of what I already did. But I felt like I did need to streamline things a little bit. So that's why I opted to go ahead and buy the sauce. I keep dropping the lids into the pot. Okay. Stir, stir, stir. That is a lot of sauce in there. Now I'm going to add in some red wine. This is a Chianti from Trader Joe, or from Aldi. It is a Chianti from Aldi, and it's actually a very high quality Chianti that you can get for a very reasonable price. So this is the red wine that I always use for cooking. Sometimes I'll see a part of a tomato that I don't like, so I pick it out and just throw that part away. Now, doesn't that look beautiful? So now it's going to simmer for a little bit. So this is all the other ingredients that we're going to be using today. The Checo pasta, whole milk mozzarella, whole milk ricotta, Parmigiano Reggiano. I'm going to go ahead and start grating the Parmesan cheese. They shrink wrap those, and they're always so hard to get into. They make you work for it. And I need 5 total cups of the Parmesan cheese. Should have grabbed a bigger knife there. Great, great, great.
Can you bring me my phone when I'm done so I can turn on some music? It's over there. Okay, that's better.
I can work on that Lord of the Rings / Hobbit playlist for you if you'd like.
Getting tired. Gotta turn on some Italian music to get in the mood. I actually have an Italian cooking playlist that I listen to anytime I'm making Italian food. It helps. I think the food turns out better too. I decided to level up to a bigger knife. I should have done that from the beginning. Grating cheese takes forever. It usually makes my hand and shoulder start hurting too. I need 5 cups, so I need 1 more cup now. We're almost there. Now my daughter's trying to take the cheese from me.
How many of these is this going to be?
10 giant trays. No, 5. 5 giant trays.
Oh, okay. That's better.
Okay, my daughter is stepping in to finish the cheese. Praise the Lord for good daughters. She's such a sweetheart. Okay, so now I'm going to be mixing up the cheese mixture, which has the ricotta cheese, eggs, parsley, salt, pepper, and the Parmesan cheese and mozzarella cheese. And I'm only going to mix up half of it at a time because, well, I can't remember why. I can't remember why I did it this way now. Adding in all of the eggs and some salt and pepper. I keep telling myself that I'm going to buy myself a small coffee grinder to start using for grinding peppercorns for catering orders, because this is a great pepper grinder to have at the stove when you're just cooking for your family. But when you need a lot of freshly ground pepper, it takes forever. And one of these days, I'm actually going to pull the trigger and buy myself that little coffee grinder and make all of our lives easier. I'm chopping up the parsley now for the cheese mixture. I like to get it nice and fine. I'm measuring it with my eyeballs here. I needed about 6 tablespoons, maybe 7 or 8 tablespoons for this batch. Okay, it is time to start boiling the pasta. Getting everything prepped first. Okay, I have decided to move the water for the pasta into a different pot because I don't have a lid for this copper pot and it was not getting to a rolling boil. And so I needed to move it into a pot that I could cover because I didn't want it to mess up the pasta. So this was just an extra step, extra work, but I didn't want the pasta to turn out badly. So there you go. Now it's ready. You can put, I did 4 boxes this first time. I gotta break down the boxes. Stir, stir, stir. Don't want the pasta to stick together. Okay, I decided to add in a little bit more ricotta because I did 4 pounds of pasta in the pot instead of 3. So I need to make sure I have enough of the ricotta mixture to go along with that. Now I am draining my pasta, but I'm saving the water so that I can just reheat the water and not have to use all new. This will save me time because if I have to fill up the pot with cold water and start from there, it'll probably take an extra 10 minutes. So I'm going through this hassle right here of saving the water so that I can save about 10 minutes. And now I'm pouring the hot water back into my pot, and I'll need to add just a little bit of extra fresh water to that to get it to the point where I need it. Now I'm rinsing the pasta with cold water. I don't normally rinse my pasta with cold water, but when I'm putting it into a baked pasta, then I do, so it'll stop the cooking. I don't want the pasta to be too mushy. Okay, now I will be mixing the cheese mixture into the pasta. And that's what it looks like. And now I'm going to be adding in a little bit of the sauce. I'm getting that all mixed together. Okay, so here are my 2 big pans. I'm doing 5 total pans all together. So first I'm adding in the pasta mixture. Moving it out. Now I'm going to be adding some sauce to the top. And spreading that out. Now I'll add a layer of cheese. And now I'm going to be adding one more layer of the pasta. And then I'll finish it off with a layer of sauce. And a light dusting of cheese. I don't like to put too much cheese on the top, just enough. Okay, now we're going to mix up the rest of it. So we have the ricotta, then the eggs, and now the Parmesan. I just realized that I'm using the rest of it, so now it's time to dump it. And now the mozzarella cheese will go in. And my daughter isn't around, so I'm going to grind all the pepper, and I probably won't end up with as much as we had in the last batch because I just don't have the patience for that. Here's some salt. And now I need to chop up some more parsley. My daughter was kind enough to wash all the parsley for me earlier. I love chopping up herbs. I don't know why. It's therapeutic. It's relaxing. It smells good too. Okay, we're draining the pasta water again, and I'm saving the water because I have one more batch to do. But I'm starting to realize this isn't working out so well here in the sink, so I'm getting ready to move the bowl. Yep, I've had enough. There we go. Pouring it back in the pot for one more round. Add a little bit of extra water. Okay, so there's the noodles. Go ahead and add the cheese. Sauce. And mix it. And now we have to go through the same process again that we did earlier, which is pasta first, sauce, then cheese, then pasta, sauce, and cheese. Oh, George got hurt, it looks like. Needs a little bit of attention from Mama. Little pep talk, little hug. Little kiss. And he's all better. so close. I'm so ready to sit down and relax and watch the Alabama football game. George is coming to say hello. Hi, George. Okay, getting the last bit of sauce here. It looks like I probably should have made a little bit more sauce than I ended up making, because it looks like it's slim pickings for the tops here. Note to self. My husband is over there putting the lids on them, and he's going to get those out into the refrigerators for me. He is the spatial relations guy in our relationship, and so I don't ever have to worry about fitting things in refrigerators or things like that because he's the expert. It's nice to have an expert around. And it looks like my apron is in desperate need of a washing at this point. It's been to battle. So all of this cooking happened over the course of 2 days, and it actually worked out really well doing it this way, doing the sauce on the first day and everything else the second day. I ended up, not feeling completely worn out at the end of it all, which is lovely because then I have energy for my family for the rest of the day instead of just needing to go lay down. So I think that I divided things up well this time. So this is something, like I said, that I do often. I cater different events and make huge amounts of food, on the regular. So I have the equipment to do all of this, thank goodness. I've enjoyed having you with me today. If you would be so kind as to like the video, and I'd love for you to subscribe so that you can be around next time. George is showing off his popsicle. Thanks, George. He's such a sweetheart. He's 3 years old. Okay, so I'm finishing up now, getting the lids on. Thank you for joining me.